Part 0 Context. Okay, so I've actually had the idea for this video that I'm making now for a while, since probably sometime around like March or April, but I didn't actually make it for no like real specific reason. I was kind of just lazy. But a few weeks ago, maybe like a week or two ago, I finally decided to script this video out. Most of my videos aren't scripted. In fact, I think I've only ever scripted like one other video, maybe two, in the history of this channel. So those weren't really like big projects. But I wanted this video to be like a more professional sort of video, and a more professional look into Steel Ball Run, which is what this video is about. So I decided to script it out so it wouldn't be filled with me stumbling over my words the whole time. I probably won't read off the script exactly. I'll, change it at parts so I don't sound like a robot. That's what I'm doing now. This sentence, paragraph, whatever I'm on now, explaining how I'm gonna not follow it exactly, is not in the script. But now that's enough exposition. Onto the video. Part 1 Introduction. Okay, so as I said earlier, this video is about JoJo, Part 7, Steel Ball Run. So the 7th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Steel Ball Run, is considered a fan favorite and viewed by many as one of, if not the best work by Hirohiko Araki, for many reasons, including its great cast, the growth that the cast goes through throughout the story itself, which is always fun and brings us to new fun and unique settings, and to fight fun and interesting villains. Except for Tomb of the Boom and Wired. I don't think anyone likes them. Well, I don't know if people hate Wired as much as I do, but I did not like that fight. Maybe one day I'll reread it and I'll like it. But overall, Steel Ball Run is great, and one of my favorite parts personally. One of the most iconic and well-known things about Steel Ball Run is its setting. Steel Ball Run is a story set in the United States of America, with cowboys, horses, the president, lots of other American things like that. One day though, I was thinking, the 6th part of JoJo, Stone Ocean, is also set in America. It's the only other part set in America, mostly. But the setting of Stone Ocean, being in America, is like not talked about in reviews or discussions or anything of Part 6 nearly as much as it is with Part 7. More attention is set on the story being set in a prison, about the specific location, as opposed to like the larger country as a whole. Meanwhile, tons of Steel Ball Run, reviews, YouTube videos, or even just memes about it, love to point out that Steel Ball Run is in the US. Now, why is this? The answer on the surface is pretty obvious. Stone Ocean is a pretty static set. It takes place in one building, one street, one state. It takes place in Green Dolphin Street Prison. I did not look that up to make sure that's right. I'm like 99% sure it's called Green Dolphin Street Prison, though. Sorry if I'm wrong. But Steel Ball Run, on the other hand, is a story that is about, it revolves around traveling across the U.S. Other JoJo parts have had traveling stories, like Part 3, but none of the other parts have been specifically about traveling across one country, like from one side to the other. Now, despite my point about the setting making perfect sense, I feel like there's more to it than just the setting. It's also the way the setting and story as a whole ties itself into concepts that are often associated with America. I'm specifically referring to, for this video, to the concept of the American dream, which is Part 2. Now, as I just mentioned, Part 2, the American dream. Okay, so Dictionary.com defines the American dream as the aspirational belief in the U.S. that all individuals are entitled to the opportunity for success and upward social mobility through hard work. And now, for normal people, basically what this means is that in the U.S., everyone can become successful if you work hard. Now, while this sounds great, it isn't, like, necessarily true. The American dream and concept is amazing. In any country that could truly have success based, like, mostly off of just hard work would be seen as, like, a utopia to some. But in the real world, lots of things stand in the way of this American dream. Things like corruption, discrimination, lots of things like that. It makes gaining success much harder for some people than others. Just for an example, let's say person A is born into a rich family with good parents that, pay for his college. It would be pretty realistic for him to get a good, well-paying job. On the other hand, person B is from a poor family, and her parents, they try their best, but they just, they can't afford to pay through her road in life. So for person B, it could be much harder to get an equally successful job as person A. It's still possible if person B is smart enough and hardworking enough to, say, get a scholarship or something. But it would still require a lot more work than what might be needed for person A to get the same opportunities. So overall, the American dream and concept has a lot of pros, but in reality is limited by lots of cons. Part 3, Steel Ball Run. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Okay, Eddie, but what does this have to do with the funny ghost people that punch each other super hard? Well, JoJo Part 7, Steel Ball Run is a story that revolves heavily around concepts that relate to the American dream. Now, I'm not saying that this was Araki's intention, because, I've never met Araki personally. I don't know if it was. But I see the Steel Ball Run race itself as a sort of metaphor for the American dream. So first, let's cover what the Steel Ball Run is in case you haven't seen it, and it'll just help tie into this video. So JoJo Part 7 Steel Ball Run is a story that revolves around different people from all around the world participating in a race across the USA to win millions of dollars, with various stops across the way in different places across the US. So our main character, Johnny, is an American-born young man, but he has one thing holding him back, which is that he's paralyzed from the waist down. His partner throughout the story is the Italian Gyro Gay, and other participants include women like Hot Pants, Native Americans like Soundman, and black people like Poco Loco, and all sorts of other different people from different races, cultures, and groups. So the Steel Ball Run race itself is the perfect embodiment of the good parts of the American dream that are explained in the standard dictionary definition. Anyone from any background can participate, and it rewards hard work and skill with success. Much like the American dream, this is like a great concept. Bringing people together to participate in a big old horse race, that's fun, and people get rich. What's not to like? So I feel like while this story points out the pros of the American dream, Steel Ball Run also points out the cons. So the Steel Ball Run race itself, as it turns out, isn't just a fun activity to bring the nation and world together in a fun horse racing event. As it turns out, the Steel Ball race was actually planned by U.S. President Funny Valentine to help find the parts of Jesus Christ's corpse that are spread across the USA so he can gain incredible power, allowing him to send all the trouble and misfortune that comes in the U.S. all the way to other countries. So basically, the bad guy of Steel Ball Run is a corrupt government leader. So the American dream isn't a perfectly realistic expectation for any country for lots of reasons relating to economics and politics and stuff that, I'm 15. I don't want to talk about that stuff, and I don't even know about that stuff all the way. But what I do know is that a government led by people like Funny Valentine will play a big role in halting the American dream for lots of groups of people. Funny Valentine's goals, in the end, are basically just to make life easier for some people and harder for other people. Love Train's ability is literally just to redirect luck from one person to another. And while in real life we don't, have Jesus' body giving us magic luck manipulation, unless you're like a Mormon or something, the idea of things in the world making it easier for some people to get places and harder for others is real. This can be like economic, with it being harder for poor people to pay for like colleges and things and resources, like I mentioned in part 2 of this video early on. Or it can be social with, race, gender, and lots of other contributing factors playing a role in how easy it is for people to obtain opportunities in life. While it doesn't necessarily have to be a corrupt government like it's shown in Part 7, a Funny Valentine can be seen as an example of like all the sorts of different issues that keep the American dream and the Steel Ball Run from being as great and as perfect as they should be in concept. So basically, to summarize, what I meant with this big ol' long speech is that the race is the American dream. Funny Valentine is what stands in the way of it. And the racers, they're me and you. They're everyone all across the world. That took me 3 takes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it felt like a lot, so I'm proud of myself for that. Okay, now on to Part 4. Part 4, Conclusion. Okay, so I think the connections to concepts that are very stereotypically associated with America, like the American dream, and I feel like I've said American dream too much. You can have any other sort of name you want for that, but basically just the idea that, you're in America, hard work gets you places. But yeah, that's what makes Steel Ball Run so remembered for its setting, or at least that's just one of my theories. Now, none of this may have been intentional by Araki, none of this may even be true. I may just be taking this too far, but it's just something I noticed, and I thought I'd make a video about. So if you like this like more scripted, longer sort of video, you can tell me in the comments, because I haven't really done one like this before. And as I'm writing this conclusion, the script has taken me about 4 days to make, so it probably won't be out until a bit later due to editing and recording and such. Now, as I am not writing this conclusion, as I am speaking this conclusion, it's been like 3 weeks or so. I made this on September 20th, this script. But so yeah, that's the video I've been planning for months, and it's finally done. And I'll probably get like 20 views, so definitely worth it. And I don't usually say this at the end of my videos, but if you like this, subscribe. Well, first probably check out my other videos, see if you like those too. So yeah, I just thought I could do a shameless plug just once because I put in all this effort and stuff. But yeah, so subscribe if you want to become a true spaggot. Always be praising the Lord, and I love you. That's right. You watching this right now? Yeah, you. I love you. Bye.